Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this? I like the moving, moving. 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 Give it up! Welcome to the big show.
Why you feet are stumping? And the gym is pumping. Okay, here's the crowd jumping.
All right, on this Super Bowl, post-Super Bowl Monday, it is time for the James Sports Podcast Super Bowl recap. And yes, that is the song that people wanted to hear in Philly to celebrate. But guess what? It went the Chiefs' way. Chiefs did win the Super Bowl last night, had a score of 38-35. It was a great game, John.
It was.
It was a great game. And can you hear me?
I can.
Is the microphone working?
Yes.
All right, good. Well, as you can see, John and I are from two locations today. John is at Citi Field gearing up because Pitches and Cashes reported today. He is at Citi Field a little early, ready to go for opening day in about less than 2 months away.
We will be at Yankee Stadium.
Yes, we will be at the other New York Baseball Stadium March 30th for Yankees opening day. So it should be really fun.
Against the San Francisco
Finally, Aaron
Giants.
Judge be back in pinstripes. We're worried that he would leave the Yankees and go to the team that they're playing on opening day, the San Francisco Giants. So, and I'm live from Madison Square Garden. I'm gearing up tonight for the Nets-Knicks, and this is listen, we all thought that this game was going to be even bigger than we thought because we thought there'd be Irving, Durant on this team, but boom, bing, bong, they're out of here. Now we got Dinwiddie to worry about, Dorian Finney-Smith to worry about. But the Knicks, I am not worried about the Knicks at all in this game because I think they're playing very good basketball of late. Brunson has been on a tear, and I think we are ready to rock. But dude, I am so glad that we are practically in baseball season now. The NBA is in its hot swing now. All-Star break this weekend. We got a lot to look forward to here on the J&B Sports Podcast. So, John, what did you take from last night's game, man?
I thought it was a very well-played game, even with that controversial ending calling James Bradbury. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree.
That holding call.
A lot of people were very upset with the call that the Chiefs got. That was for in the Chiefs' favor. People have been saying you got to stop having the referees make the calls here and let the quarterbacks compete to win the right way. So a lot of people were against that flag, like the last game against the Bengals. But listen, the Chiefs played better in the second half. Let's be honest. They played better. They came from a 10-point deficit at halftime and came all the way back and won the game. And give credit to Mahomes. Even our guy from Rutgers, Isaiah Pacheco, had a very good game. He scored a touchdown. Our old friend Kadarius Toney actually was productive in this game. And the Giant fans are like saying, well, you know what? We're used to seeing that in New York sports. We're used to seeing these players play with our team, then go into another team, and then doing really well with this team. So good for Kadarius.
A little bit more on that call late in the game last night. Carl Shevers, the referee, did talk to reporters following the game.
Okay.
He said that it was drawn because the receiver went to the inside. He was attempting to release to the outside. Bradbury grabbed the jersey with his right hand and restricted him from releasing to the outside. So therefore, we called defensive holding.
Right.
Besides the controversy in that call, I think Shevers and them called a very good game last night.
I agree. I think they called a very good game last night. A very good game last night. I think the officiating was right on the money. And the other problem that a lot of people were concerned about was the playing field conditions. They were saying the turf was very slippery and caused a lot of slips, especially the Mahomes slip early, where Mahomes was a little banged up before the halftime.
Yep, and they even kept mentioning Butker got injured in week 1 on that exact field.
Yeah.
Have to look, but I believe he was injured week 1, some with that new grass they put in.
And we just want to say we are with you, Ian Kozenko. We are sorry that your Eagles lost the game. We hope to have you on the podcast soon to talk about what the Eagles need to do for next year. I mean, they were that close. If they didn't get that call, that penalty against them, the Eagles might have had a shot.
By the way, you see, who was it, McKinnon? Bradshaw did not do 11 years ago.
Yeah,
He ran the ball and stopped at the 1 yard line.
that's right.
Very famous. That led to Brady having that one last chance.
Yeah, man. It's just a great memories, man.
But great all-around way to end the season. What do you think?
Oh, it was a great way to end the season. I thought Kansas City was going to win, and I called it. I said the winner of this game is going to win by 3, and the score was 38-35 Kansas City. Had a feeling the winner would be by 3. I think the Eagles, we all thought that the Eagles were eventually going to, fall, come in a game where they're closer than blowing out a team like the last 2 games.
Yep.
They blew out the 49ers. They blew out the Giants. So it's good listen, we expected the Eagles to finally play somebody that will make it competitive.
See what happens when you play a real quarterback?
Yes, and I always thought that the Eagles should have. I'm so against the NFL doing a bye week. I feel like you play one game, and all of a sudden, they get one round in the NFL playoffs makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
I am so against the NFL with the bye. It's ridiculous. Everybody should play a wild card game.
Expand one team each conference.
One team each conference, and look at the end of the season. Like nobody should have had, with obviously the Hamlin thing. The way it turned out, everybody should have been in the wild card series. The wild card round makes a big difference. Everybody should have been playing in that wild card round. I just feel like the NFL, it's like a tournament. It's like I feel like this is like NFL playoffs is like a tournament. Everybody should play wild card game, divisional game, championship game, then obviously the Super Bowl.
And if you think about it, if they did expand one team each conference in the playoffs, you would have the Steelers and the Lions make it this year. They were the first 2 teams out.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but as us Giant fans, we are pretty happy on this Monday that the Eagles did lose. I mean, listen, We obviously wanted to see the Eagles lose. We're Giant fans. I'm sure all Giant fans wanted to see the Eagles lose, but the Eagles had a great season. They did have a great season. They played really well every game. They were okay. They lost. Maybe they should have won and they should have beat Dallas in that game. There were a couple of games they should have won. They should have won the Redskin game. But Heineke, that was the beginning of the Heineke star. That's where Heineke started to pick it up and become a really good quarterback.
Yep, and that's when they had that controversial ending because I believe it was Brandon Graham while Heineke was down him.
Yeah, I mean,
if I'm
Heineke.
not mistaken.
I'm going to pull up that game. That game was the start. Now, I think a lot of people thought that Eagles would go downhill after that loss because no one – listen, I feel like a lot of people never had faith in the Eagles until they actually got to the end of the season.
Yeah.
But they turned out to be a legit – so you had the Commanders-Eagles on the 14th. It was 32-21 Commanders. So they lost by 11. And then the Colts almost beat them the next game, 17-16. So we all thought that the Eagles were slipping a little bit. They had some problems. And then eventually, when they hit the end of the season against the Giants, then played them in the postseason, they restarted their season. And, when you restart your season in the NFL, it's very dangerous because it's a short season,
Yep.
But
And if you look who
Eagles
they
did it
barely
very
beat,
well.
too.
Say that again, John?
If you look who they barely beat the Packers. They won by 7 after they barely beat the Colts.
Right. They crushed the Titans.
They
crushed
barely beat the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
They lost last second to the Cowboys in Dallas. They got embarrassed by the Saints. You can't lose the Saints on your home field.
No, you can't. And listen, kudos to the Saints for winning that game because that winning in Philly is not easy. It's never been easy. Even from previous years, it's never been easy to win in Philadelphia.
And you barely beat the Giants backups in Week 18.
Yeah. And then after that game, the Giants were like, hey, we have a shot against this Eagle team. And then
I was there for that Week 18 game.
Yeah. And then they get absolutely obliterated in the playoffs, 38-7. They looked god awful. They couldn't even get anything going. Boom! You had a 16-yard pass to Goddard. Then you had a pass from Hurts to Devontae Smith, and then boom, 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 boom. It just never stopped. Kept going and going. Hurts went off that game for 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Smith had a touchdown, but that was a great blowout by the Eagles to put a statement on the first game of the playoffs for them. And then they crushed the 49ers.
But you remember they had no quarterback half that game.
And they still they scored the same amount of points that the Giants scored, 7.
Yep.
The bottom line is that the Giants are I'm sorry, not the Giants. The Eagles are a legit Super Bowl team.
If you think about it, though, Deebo Samuel did say they probably would have had a chance if Purdy did not injure his elbow in that game.
I agree. I think Purdy's a very good quarterback. I think he's got a good chance to be a successful prospect in the league. I don't know if he's going to be ever going to be an all-star quarterback, but I think he's very good. I think he's a rookie who's he's a young guy looking to make a point in the NFL. He's looking to prove himself to be a legit NFL quarterback. And he's done a good job with the 49ers this year in replacing Trey Lance and Garoppolo.
Yep. But like I said, if you look at that was really the first real quarterback that the Eagles faced all year with real offense.
With Mahomes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Mahomes, there's people even talking about now, and I'm not trying to get into a debate here about Tom Brady. I mean, we don't debate unless we have like a whole team on the show here.
We have to have Doug here.
Right. And we'll do this in the future probably. But there's even people debating, and I don't think it's up for debate yet, that Mahomes is already going to be better than Brady because he already has 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years.
Well, if you think about it, Brady at this point, first 4 years starting, he had 3 rings?
Right. So what if Mahomes wins it next year again?
Yeah, but it's not technically the same pace as Brady.
But then you got to look at you could look at other statistics too. But I agree. I don't think you could still compare to Brady's legacy.
Considering Brady probably holds most of the offensive records.
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw something. Somebody was mentioning that on a source that I saw. I don't know if you could debate that yet. Okay, so Mahomes is already legendary. This is from the NFL. They just made a statement 2 minutes ago. Mahomes, two-time Super Bowl champion, 2-time Super Bowl MVP, 2-time NFL MVP, 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and a 1-time Offensive Player of the Year. So that's almost Hall of Fame. Probably is Hall of Fame status already, but he's so young to determine Hall of Fame status. If he wins another Super Bowl or one and even 2 more, he's definitely in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Yep.
And Andy Reid is already in the Hall of Fame. He's been in it. He's in it with his eyes closed. I mean, he's that good of a coach.
I would just retired last night, right as soon as that game ended, if I was Reid.
I agree with you, man. And you know who I think should have become. You know who I think could have became the new head coach. Your guy right there in Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy. I think he would have been if Andy Reid left tomorrow. I think Eric Bieniemy would be the perfect fit for that team. He is perfect.
It's really curious why he hasn't had a job yet.
You know, he's the guy that everybody's been mentioning, and maybe he just doesn't. He's worried that if he leaves, there's going to be problems with that offense. But you know what? That's what Buffalo was worried about when they let Brian Dable go. You know, listen, if you get a head coaching opportunity, you got to take it. It's the big bucks, you know. But this has been a great NFL season, John. We started the Football Friday podcast that we did every Friday, mostly every Friday, sometimes Saturday. I'm hearing that we did a very good job with the Football Friday podcast, and we'll hopefully do it again next year. Maybe next year we'll have some more guests on the Friday podcast. I did a really good job. We're going to do something for March Madness too, because March Madness, man, right around the corner.
Right around. Yep. What is it, starting a little over a month?
Well, Selection Sunday, I believe, is. I got to see the schedule. I don't know right on top of my head. Selection Sunday. Well, let's see. Selection Sunday, I believe, is March 12th. Is it March 12th? It's like somewhere around there. Probably March 12th is because the last game of the season, for college is March 5th. Well, see, it's different because there's a lot of different leagues. The Big Ten, for example, is dead on March 5th.
Whenever the last conference tournament ends. That's
right. So I'm going by the Big Ten here. They're done March 5th, so I'm going to guess Selection Sunday is going to be March 12th, right after you said it right after the end of the conference tournament. So
I'll actually look right now if I can pull it up on my app. But you know, back to the Kansas City coach. You know, I think part of the reason he hasn't had a job. This is a racist league. Some article from a month ago said 30 out of 32 NFL coaches are white.
I agree. That's just the way it is now.
So it looks like March 5th is the end of the regular season.
Right, and then Selection Sunday, I'm guessing, is Sunday the 12th.
Probably somewhere around there, whenever.
Right, because you have the Big Ten final, the AAC, the American Athletic Conference Championship final, the A10 Championship final, SEC Tournament final, and the Ivy League final. That's on Sunday, and then Saturday is like the one that Monmouth's in. What's the name of it? MEAC? Is that MAC or whatever?
No, it's just CAA.
Oh, okay, CAA. So all that is on the 10th, I believe. Well, I know Pac-12 is on the 10th, on the 11th. So yeah, bottom line is all the tournaments, the finals are like the 10th through the 12th, and then Selection Sundays right after those games. So
Yep. The Big East is the 8th through the 11th. So
right, so we'll know the bracket by March 12th, like probably about 7 p.m.
yep.
And listen, I think Rutgers is gonna get in, man. Rutgers is gonna get in. I think Rutgers.
Maybe they won't lose a team like Notre Dame this year.
Nah, man. Then I think from a projected bracket, they're gonna play a team like Charleston, like in the first round. Like not as like I saw a projected bracket. They could play like maybe Charleston or team that's not as great, like on top of the game. But so I think Rutgers is going to win the first round. I think they have a shot of getting to the Final Four this year, man. I'm picking them in my bracket this year to get to the Final Four. What about you? Who are you picking? You got any ideas of who you gonna pick for your Final Four? I mean, it's too early, but who do you think? If you had a gun pointed to your head right now, and say, who do you think is going to make it to the Final Four this year? Who do you think, based on the way college basketball has been this year?
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at the current AP top 25.
Right.
Tough to call right now.
I think Houston's going to be one of them. Houston, maybe. There's a lot of other teams in there. Let's see.
There's no undefeated teams left.
I want to pull up the standings for the AP top
I think
10.
Bama goes on a run.
You think Alabama's going on a run, man?
They're having a nice little year.
Why can't I get that?
They're having a nice little year.
Oh, Alabama's number one. Now, how do you like that? Good in football, good in basketball. What a school.
I think I could see Alabama. I could see Purdue.
I could see either UCLA getting in. Kansas is probably going to get in for sure. We all know Kansas is always in there.
Yep.
They're that good.
Want to hear my random Hail Mary pick?
Yes.
I'm going just off the top 25. Let's go UConn.
UConn.
They're currently number 21 at 18-6. Well, 19-7 now.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little more about college basketball. All right, we are back here on the JMB Sports Podcast, which has been sponsored by our good friends at Bear and Birch Russian Banya in Freehold, New Jersey. All right, so we were talking about college basketball just before, and we had a lot of good teams this year, John. A lot that we wouldn't expect to be in the top 25 as of today, which is February 13th. Are you a little surprised that Alabama's ranked number one?
I am, but I didn't expect this. Who's number 25 right now? Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
Our good friend, Alex Ladd.
Yeah.
What a surprise, right?
What a surprise, man. And look at this. The Gonzaga, who was always on the top of the rankings, is 13
Yep.
in the league. Wow. A lot of shockers. And I could see UCLA making it this year, like to the Final Four. I think Duke is the one team that will be hurt with Mike Krzyzewski, gone. We've seen it. We've seen that the program has changed since he left.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a different era now. So we got to see what Duke can do to make Duke stay as a favorite in college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
And Rutgers dropped for the rankings this week, it looks like. But that doesn't mean they're not going to get into the tournament. That just means they didn't do as great as the other teams did this week.
You're surprised this year.
What was that, John?
Surprise this year, Villanova has been very bad.
Yeah, Villanova has been pretty bad. Yeah, with Jay Wright gone, and that hurts.
Hmm.
You
Did you see
colleges, college basketball coaches can make a big deal.
Yep. Did you see the big news out of New Mexico State yesterday?
Did not. What was it?
They canceled the rest of their season
Oh yeah, I'm just looking at this right now.
over sexual harassment.
Oh wow, that's nuts. I'm sorry to hear that. Holy crap. Wow.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think we're gonna. That's the next big thing we're looking forward to. John, is the sports world we're looking forward to. It's March Madness, man.
Yep.
March Madness, and then opening day. Then before you know it, man, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and our good friend Doug is going to be looking forward to probably his Devils being in the playoffs for the first time in a while.
Yep.
But let's hope the Knicks could actually win tonight against the Nets, because I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I think we gotta beat if we would beat the Nets tonight, that would be a big deal, because we need to start winning home games. We won against the Jazz on Saturday, and we gotta win tonight. We gotta win tonight.
That was embarrassing when I saw them lose a couple of weeks ago at Barclays Center.
Yeah, that was a hard. They should, that was when they had Irving playing. Durant was out that game, though, right?
Right, he's been out.
Right, so I don't know. Listen, tonight's a whole different team. No Durant, no Irving, just Simmons, Dinwiddie's are guys you got to watch out for.
Yep.
I think they could win. Tonight. They got to win in the Garden. That's their home court. They got to win their home games, and the Knicks have done a terrible job this year. Not a terrible job, but they haven't done a great job at winning all the home games they should win at home. But John, I got to be honest with you, man. That game I went to on Friday in Philly, they should have won. How do you lose that game? They had lead the whole game, and then they blew it in the last few minutes of the game.
Because it's the Knicks.
Typical Knicks. See, that's where they look like the typical Knicks in the last few minutes of the game. But unfortunately, that's what the NBA is like now. The last few minutes of the game is really what matters.
Yep.
But Brunson, man, love the way he's playing. Now, that's your boy from Villanova. Gotta say,
yep.
He's really done a great job.
Yep. Did Hart play?
Hart played on Saturday. He looked good. He had 11 points, I believe.
The Villanova connection there.
The Villanova love. I love to see that. I call it Villanova North. This is the Garden is considered Villanova North. I like it. And look at this, John. Before we wrap it up, the Knicks are our favorite tonight, actually. At home against the Nets.
Yep.
-3. So how do you like that? The Knicks are favorite tonight, which is good.
It's very important to cover as well tonight, Brandon?
Pitchers and catchers.
Yep. They officially reported this. Start reporting today, even though a lot of teams already have been working out.
A lot of teams have been working out, yeah.
And I have a very special video for you tonight, Brandon.
All right.
First off, we'd like to say happy birthday to Mets radio voice, Howie Rose. Here we go.
8-3 New York. Runner at second, 2 out of the 9th. Amelia delivers, swinging on just still at the scraper at the back of the rubber and decides to rarely wastes any movement on the mound. Here's the payoff pitch from Familia to Fowler on the way, and it's in there. Strike 3 called. The Mets win the pennant. The New York Mets have won the National League pennant. Put it in the books. The New York Mets, for the first time in 15 years, are champions of the National League, and they are mobbing it.
Good times.
I forget how old he is, but very happy birthday to legend Howie Rose.
Happy birthday to Howie Rose from the JMB podcast. Well, John, this has been a great episode. Once again, congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs on winning the Super Bowl.
We are very sorry, Ian.
And Ian, we're very sorry if you're listening. We are very sorry. We wish you the best, man. We know you're depressed along with all the other Eagle fans on this Monday. But listen, just say to yourself, it was a great season. Hurts is your future quarterback for sure. The team has a lot of potential in the future. So,
And
Well,
also,
hopefully-
friend, happy Valentine's Day to everyone out there.
happy Valentine's Day to everybody out there. And enjoy your day with your loved ones. And hopefully,
And make sure you treat your women well.
yes, hopefully, Rutgers beats Nebraska tomorrow.
Do not be like our good friend Tony,
Yes.
because his wife did leave him.
Yes. And before we leave, we got a little something special for you. All right, this has been another episode of the JME Sports Podcast, the Super Bowl recap show. Have a great week, everybody, and a happy Valentine's